I'm Josh Liston from On the Bubble podcast, an oral history of television fandom, part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 354 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, March 31st, 2019, and it is a full house today.
I mean, we got DJ, we got Stephanie.
Except Aunt Becky, she got fired.
Yeah, I heard something about that. What? I don't know anything about it.
I
was trying to figure out a joke to make about 3 kings and 2 deuces, but I couldn't figure it out.
She got caught bribing people for her kid to get into college, basically.
Yep.
And then covering it up.
Whoa. Bribing people to get for a kid to get in college? What do you mean?
SAT proctors that were on the take that basically helped them take the exams, getting coaches at USC to say, I don't know if this was the same one for her or not, but there were others that were paying coaches basically to say they were athletic targets so that they would then be able to get into school easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she paid for a kid to get into school, basically.
I mean, just do the Jay-Z way and just fucking donate money to the school and said, nothing for this. Yeah, she did it all on her own.
That's the old school smart way. These people wanted to be even more ham-fisted.
No, but did you hear about that? I think it was Jay-Z.
It was Jay-Z. That was after all of this happened. He posted that on Instagram, and everyone laughed. And then it came out, oh, you gave $70 million to USC a few years ago. And then he was like, oh, shit, and deleted the Instagram post.
Yep.
I wish I had enough money that giving $70 million to a university is something I forgot about.
I wish you had $70 million to give to a Willie.
Give to a Willie. You'd be having to do a lot to earn that.
I'd be retired. I wouldn't even be able to spend that much money.
What would you do to get $70 million, Willie? Would you just become like my personal houseboy?
There'd be a lot of dicks being sucked.
Well, that's not what I was
I was going to say, he would still be sucking your dick.
That's not at all what I wanted here.
And when you died, he would still be sucking your dick.
But no.
I mean, to be honest, if I'm sucking his dick for that long, I'm probably going to be dying first.
$70 million, you better not be doing anything else, bitch.
Then how would I? No, that's not even worth it then, because then I would never even enjoy the $70 million ever.
It ain't about your enjoyment. You got paid.
That would be the worst $70 million spent ever.
Yes, it would.
Ever. Oh. I mean, now you just make me feel bad.
No, Willie, there is no way in hell I would ever want you to do that for me. So, no.
I don't know. We'll get you drunk enough.
No.
Oh, Lord. That sounds like a threat.
Oh, Lordy.
All right. So, I need to bribe some people to get in the news. Then we'll make ourselves famous. I'll make the podcast famous by me getting in trouble.
You do that.
But seriously, yeah, 70 million. I don't even need that much. I don't even know how I live such a meager life. More money wouldn't even do much for me.
I could totally spend that.
I mean, I don't even need that big of a house. I don't need a mansion or anything. Just a house. And
you just
money
invest a good chunk of it and live off the interest.
No, not even that. I'll just live off the damn money itself.
But
fuck my future generations.
Well, I was just meaning that you would have money in case there was like a big expense you had that came up, which was like, hey, you can spend $4 million and get a walk-on role on your favorite movie. And you could be like, oh, fuck that. I got $4 million. Here you go.
$4 million?
Yeah.
I have 70 in total.
Yeah, so then you'd still have 64 million, 65, I don't know. I can't do math. $66 million. There you go.
Exactly. And that would last me like fucking 400 years probably if I live that long.
But if you invest it, then you can make it last even longer.
I'm not going to live 400 years.
But if you have enough money, you might be able to.
What are we going to do? What was that Justin Timberlake movie, In Time or something?
I don't remember.
With the whole like where they get paid but more time living or something. They had to handshake and flip their hands like, yeah, give me that time.
Yep.
That was an alright movie. Wasn't the best, but it was alright.
I never saw it.
Interesting. I like the little game they play, like the Like they kept flipping their hand. Like there's like kind of like chicken. Like how long till you flip your hand back over? Get to 0, or if you get to 0, you're dead. Yeah.
It was like Russian roulette with time.
Yeah, Russian roulette chicken.
There's a joke here. I just don't know what it is.
There is no joke.
I'm looking. There was something there. I just don't know what it would have been. I lost
How
it.
come? Yeah, here's a question. How come Justin Timberlake didn't really go into movies all that well? He was in a couple of good ones.
You realize he did like 6 films already, right?
Yeah, but he's not like, he's never really like the main guy of like a major film. Like,
Well, he's also not
tried, but
he's also not a real actor. He's a Mickey Mouse Club turned singer.
he was good in Southland Tales.
I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm just saying that's not his job. Like
That's fair.
Yeah, he had enough stardom to where he could start showing up and stuff, and he's good and talented. Yeah, he's been in like 6 movies: Southland Tales, fucking Alpha Dog, freaking and he was great in Alpha Dog.
So I don't know if it might have just been more a matter of it was, hey, I've always wanted to try this. Let me try it.
Yeah.
It turned out to be pretty good, but realized, oh wait, if I'm going to keep making the money I've been making, it's music because that's where the money is for me.
Social Network. He's in one of the biggest movies of a year as a huge character.
And if you've never seen Southland Tales, highly recommended. Although it is very confusing.
It is a weird ass movie
because it is technically chapters 4, 5, and 6, and the first 3 are like in comic book form. I believe that's what it is. But that movie has so many people in it. Even The Rock's in it.
Yep.
Sean William.
Dude, Justin Timberlake has 87 acting credits, which includes video shorts for his short films for his videos, but 87.
Which means probably all the Lonely Island digital shorts are on there and stuff too.
Oh yeah,
probably. But like, he was a voice on Trolls. Like he's still actually currently doing stuff.
Oh, I thought you meant Troll.
No, Trolls.
Oh, the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel.
Troll 2 with the Z.
Yeah, it was in Popstar Never Stop Stopping. He was in Inside Llewellyn Davis. He was in Friends with Benefits, Bad Teacher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yogi Berry's the fucking voice of Boo Boo. Like, the dude's been working constantly.
I've never watched any of those.
I didn't either.
Yeah, he's not an actor, but yeah, he's basically been working constantly doing acting jobs every couple of years since NSYNC.
I'm gonna go. I want to see Yogi Bear now just for Boo Boo.
Hey, Boo Boo.
Him and TJ Miller.
Hey, Boo Boo. Let's go steal some picnic baskets.
A picnic?
Oh, Yogi. Ranger Smith said not to. Boo Boo. What'd I say about being a little bitch?
I'm pretty sure those are not the lines.
That's my lines. So we're ramping down on this intro. So Chris, what comes next?
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
It's the same thing we do every weekend, Pinky. Try to deliver the news.
We didn't even try and disguise it coming this time. Didn't even try and segue into it. It was just awkward silence and hit the damn button. But yes, it is the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what is in our minds some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up in the past week.
I'm sorry. Awkward silence is what I'm best at.
I thought it was dick jokes.
If you thought that was my best, then you are sadly mistaken.
I thought it was unprotected advice.
Sad. Are you queuing something?
No, I'm not. I just thought you got this whole new website.
You wasted
and everything
it.
Going.
You wasted it.
I didn't waste anything. We'll be fine. Don't worry. Let's get into.
I don't own the website.
Well, you don't own the website, yes, but I will let you use it. How about that?
Oh, you're trying to kill me.
Are you dying there? He's choking on my BS there.
If only.
For $70 million, I bet you would.
I'd be choking on something.
And we're right back where we started.
Right back to where we started. So let's go into the news of the week. I'll kick things off because I was honestly surprised that none of these guys had claimed said news. But at PAX East this week, Gearbox announced and dropped a trailer for Borderlands 3. Do we know what's really coming? We don't. Rather, do we know when it's actually coming? Not yet. They didn't say anything. However, people asked Randy Pitchford, who is the CEO of Gearbox, on Twitter, "Hey, when are we going to know about the release date?" And he said the release date will be locked in and revealed on April 3rd. So we will have a release date for Borderlands 3 like 3 days from now as we record this. It looks interesting. It looks like the typical Borderlands game you've seen before, only now they're promising there's 1 billion different guns you can get.
And worlds.
That is true.
I mean,
So
I would
you'd
hope
be
so.
exploring worlds, plural.
I mean, I haven't even seen the trailer, but I mean, I figured that happened at the end of, since Borderlands 2, how it ended.
It is true. They
Don't
did,
tell Naki, I haven't finished it.
Oh no. They did make a
Well,
point though.
apparently other gates get opened on different planets.
Yes.
Mm.
Which seems to
Or
imply
they show up or something.
There'll be other things to do. Handsome Jack does appear in the trailer, but Randy Pitchford did say at the PAX panel, "Don't read too much into it. He's dead, but we're jerks, so we put him in there."
Nice.
Well, I
nice.
mean, Handsome Jack is like the best character out of all of Borderlands.
Bullshit. Tiny Tina. It's all about Tiny Tina.
I will say she is a very close second, but Handsome Jack, I mean, Butt Stallion, come
That
on.
was pretty
I'm
fantastic.
gonna take you to a tea party, bitch.
Butt Stallion wins it. Sorry.
So Gearbox has not confirmed the names of the new Vault Hunters, but what we know from leaks and other appearances is there's a slick eye patch wearing Zane, the tanky siren with magic arms Amara, the robotic Beastmaster Flack, and the high-tech soldier Mose. Basically, we just got to see them be badasses in the trailer.
Yeah. It's a lot of walking away from explosions in slow motion.
Yes. But what the coolest thing was in that is we did get to see a lot of previous characters we've seen before. So it felt like a celebration of Borderlands is what they're saying at PC Gamer, filled to the brim with familiar faces, including returning Vault Hunters like Lilith, Maya, Brick, Mordecai, and Zero. And then we also get to see Reese from Tales from the Borderlands. There's also Tiny, now regular Tina, Marcus, Ellie, Sir Hammerlock, Claptrap, and a few other enemies we've seen before. And Randy Pitchford did say Moxie's back with a big new cool bar.
I didn't know how you're going to end that. But I was a little surprised. I was like, no, you didn't say one name, because he's still probably dead.
Scooter.
Oh, Roland. Wait, Scooter's dead?
You never played Tales from the Borderlands, did you?
Is that a sequel to the whole series? I thought it was like before everything.
It takes
It was
place...
the pre-sequel.
No, there's a pre-sequel game. There is also the Tales from the Borderlands game that, crap, who...
I played like an episode of it.
Yeah, there's 5 episodes of it. Scooter
Where's the...
dies.
Oh.
So it's after Borderlands 2.
It's after Borderlands 2.
I thought it happened before, because I thought Handsome Jack was in there somewhere or something.
He is in there, and they explain why Handsome Jack is in there in that game. And I was really excited to see that we've got characters from Tales from the Borderlands in Borderlands 3, because I was always hoping they would continue that story. And then it sadly was not going to happen, because Telltale shut down.
I mean, they still technically own all the characters from it.
So the best we're going to get, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, is they fold in some of the Tales characters into Borderlands 3. So I'm really curious to see what that amounts to.
So Scooter's dead?
Yeah, man. He's been dead for years in Tales from the Borderlands.
So I'm never going to hear? So I'm never going to hear, let's get you rolling.
You'll get to hear Catch a Ride when you catch a ride.
No, because that was Scooter's voice.
Yeah, but the it's recorded on the Catch a Ride stations.
It's not the same.
I mean, they might find a way to bring him back. I don't know. But if you played the Tales game, he's quite dead.
Now, how weird was it when you found out Scooter was Mad Moxie's child?
That was weird.
And also, what was it? What was her name? The sister?
Ellie.
Oh,
Ellie.
Yeah, that was surprising.
I'm just happy we get Tiny Tina back as regular Tina. That could be interesting, too.
I don't want to say it's surprising, because Mad Moxie does not look that old. She looks younger than Scooter.
Maybe they do real good work out there on the Borderlands.
I can tell you, Mad Moxie does some good work.
You got to own a bar that big and make that much money to pay for all that plastic surgery.
$70 million worth. You can figure out what that means.
I don't want to know. One of the other cool things we saw is there was guns with legs that would run around now. So I'm not sure what that's going to amount to, but it looks interesting at least.
The gun with legs was hilarious.
What if those are like legendary weapons that only pop up every so often and you have to shoot them down to get them?
You have to catch them?
That'd be good. Like chasing the chicken in Rocky.
You open a chest and the gun hits the ground and starts running away?
Yeah. But then you know it's a legendary.
That would be funny.
But it's only legendary. It's not like some stupid common guns do that. Oh,
Plus, like
that.
it didn't show someone like full on jumping inside of a mech suit.
That's what it looked like. But
Yeah.
I
I
only
haven't
watched
seen
the
the trailer.
trailer once, so I don't know. I have a frame by frame breakdown of what all was going on. There was a lot going on, and there's people that are underwhelmed, and there's people that are really excited. There's a mix of people on the internet, but let's just wait and see what happens.
If this was 5 or 6 years ago, then I would be excited. But I'm burnt out on that whole format of games.
You're not a big fan of the looter shooter?
Yeah, I'm just burnt out. I mean, they have so many of them out now. You got Borderlands, which really kind of started it with like, you need better weapons. Oh, I got a better weapon. Ooh, need better weapons. Need a better weapon. It's just like the whole Dragon Ball Z thing. Ooh, a stronger enemy. Got to train. I beat the enemy. Oh, new strong enemy. Got to train. Beat the enemy.
That's fair.
New enemy. Yeah, I'm kind of burnt out on that.
So that's a fair statement, as I think that since time has gone by since Borderlands and Borderlands 2 came out, there's a lot of other people that have crept in to that looter shooter category, the whole living online game like this was, and that might hurt it some when it comes to it. What makes Borderlands unique was the humor behind it and the zany story and things like that. And that's the stuff I'm still interested in. And to be honest, Borderlands 1 I pretty much soloed. I never really played with anyone else. I just played through it solo, and then Borderlands 2 ended up playing with Naki a bunch.
So
I need to go back and do the pre-sequel at some point. I never actually loaded that one up.
So what you're telling me, Chris, is that you're going to get it, Bachman's going to get it, and I will get it, and we'll all play on the PlayStation together with each other.
That means I gotta get PlayStation Online.
Exactly. So you can get rid of your Xbox bullshit.
But I prefer gaming on my Xbox.
As the only person playing Anthem, I know this plan will not work out, so will not be getting it.
Well, to be fair, Anthem is another one of those.
Hey.
Am I wrong?
No, it's a looter shooter.
No, it is definitely a looter shooter. But it's the only one that lets you also be Iron Man.
Barely. If I could fly indefinitely, yes, I will give that to you.
Not indefinitely, but the buff has been really nice.
Or you could just get a PlayStation VR and play as Iron Man on that. There's an
the Iron Man VR coming out. Yeah.
Willie's going to get it, I bet.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see.
Couple last things on Borderlands 3 that they brought up. 90% of Gearbox is working on Borderlands 3. It's what Pitchford told them at PAX West. He said, since no one was brave enough to shout out Colonial Marines 2, the project we're working most on is definitely Borderlands.
Did they even work on that? I thought they hired out a company to work on it.
I think they did some of it. Oh, God. Steven in the chat room. Xbox controllers are better than Sony. You should discuss in depth. We're not doing it again.
Mr. President, I think you're just trying to cause a civil war over here is what I think you're trying to do.
Goddamn Canadian trolls.
A couple other points for Borderlands 3, and we'll wrap this one up. Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel are getting free 4K texture packs, so if you already own the games on whatever system, you'll be able to play them in 4K now. That's exciting, I guess. And then a few things to keep in mind for Borderlands 3. There have been a few notable departures from the company, including writer and Scooter voice actor Mikey Newman. Borderlands 2 writer Anthony Birch left the studio in 2015, and Claptrap voice actor David Eddings moved to Rooster Teeth last year. So there has been a little bit of a talent shift at one point, but I believe I'd heard in an interview that Mikey Newman was doing on one of the various podcasts he's guested on, saying he would not be opposed to coming back to do voice work for Scooter, assuming they find a way to bring Scooter back, because he's kind of dead. Sorry, Willie.
You can stop bringing it up.
Did you need a moment to collect yourself?
The scoot's for you.
I was really hoping he was going to yell "catch a ride" right there.
We'll get you rolling. Scooter. Well, here's the question for you.
Quest away.
So there's no release date for this, right?
We will get that on April 3rd, so we will get it in a few days.
Now, do you think it's going to be coming out this year? Because there's a follow-up question to that.
I think they're going to target holiday this year. Do I think they'll make it? I don't know.
And if it doesn't come out this year, do you think it'll get pushed out to the next-gen consoles? Which, I mean, come on, let's be honest. They're coming out next year.
I think it's going to be one of those ones like we saw with GTA 4, where it came out on the last gen, and then the next year they re-released it for the new gens.
I mean, we're going to probably get an Xbox 360-2 next year and PS5.
It's going to be the Xbox One 361.
What did... It hurts my brain, so it's probably right.
Yep. Yeah, because if they're working on it now, the whole company's working on it, we're getting a trailer of actual gameplay, then they're not prepping it for PS5. Because they wouldn't have specs to work to. So there's no way they could be doing it for the PS5 right now.
No. I'm pretty sure these game companies have been having, probably at least the last half a year, they probably had the dev kit for the next generation.
If they have dev kits right now, it hasn't leaked out that they do. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure they have. They're coming out next year. I mean, is there any argument with that?
Yes.
The next generation consoles?
I've seen no proof that I'm getting a PS5 next year.
I mean, you gotta wait for E3.
Like
that's when you'll
7 years since the last generation jump, right?
Yeah, let's be honest. E3. Once E3 rolls around, then we'll have a better idea of what's happening.
But Sony's not going to be at E3.
Then they'll do their own event somewhere around E3. Let's be honest.
I hope so. I'll watch that. That's the only thing I'll watch during E3.
But that does wrap up my news story. I'm going to throw things over to one Willie Nelson. What do you got for us?
Me? I forgot what I was going to talk about, but then I instantly remembered.
I love it when that happens.
So a little game I've always talked about playing, and I am the one that is credited to making Bachman get into heavily, and you're welcome, Bachman. Dead by Daylight. I got you playing that.
Yeah, sometimes I blame you for it. You're right. It is totally your fault. The hours I've spent on that game.
Most of it probably waiting for a match.
But the majority of it waiting for a match, I think.
Yeah. Get dedicated servers, you sons of bitches. I want to play your game. But for real though, they have announced that they are getting a new character, and they gave the release date for the new character. It's only going to be a survivor. It's not going to be like a pack. And they just released one, which is weird. But they're releasing a survivor only, and it's Mr. Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series. And he's getting released April 2nd. This Tuesday. So you know what I'm getting Tuesday. Ding, ding, ding.
I would assume it's going to be an Ash Williams player.
Nope, it's going to be $70 million from Chris. I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay. Teach their own.
Teach.
Damn, so Ash is coming out next week?
Yeah, in 2 days.
Damn, so I heard the rumor about it last week, the pictures from whatever convention yesterday, and he's coming out next week. That's a quick fucking turnaround.
Well, there was no rumor.
No, I saw there were rumors of people on YouTube saying that they thought Ash was going to be or Evil Dead was going to be the next thing before it was confirmed.
Well, that's because it kind of got leaked out. Remember?
Yeah,
it was a leak. It was not really a rumor when it kind of got leaked. Because it was on the PlayStation. It shouldn't even been there. People saw it said Ash William Perk, and I was like, okay, Ash Williams, and it had quotes from Ash versus the Evil Dead show. On the bottom.
That's a quick fucking turnaround to it being confirmed and being launched. Like, goddamn. Yeah, one more survivor. Cool. Damn, I got tax money too. I might have to buy him.
I'm definitely gonna be buying them. I mean, and I'm gonna, and so I might have a new main character other than Dwight.
Oh shit!
I mean, how can you not? I mean, I just want him to get his chainsaw hand so we can actually fight back against the killers instead of just was it when you strike? What is it called? D-strike or the
decisive strike?
Decisive. That's the word. Yeah, that's the best you can do. Or pallets, I guess. Pallets. It's so satisfying when you don't get hit and you drop a pallet on a person.
Yeah, it's got to be the don't get hit part of it. Because, yeah, if you still get hit as you're dropping the pallet, it sucks.
Yeah. And you just know it. As soon as you hit the button, you're looking back like, oh, fuck. This is mistimed and the whole thing. Yeah. Dedicated servers. We need those.
Big time.
Wasn't that something that was on their roadmap? I remember you saying something about it.
It's set for this summer.
Yeah, the summer, but they announced that how long ago?
Well, I mean,
like
we're not to
4
summer
months ago.
yet, so
yeah, but how long could it take? The game's been out for how many years? You should have had it well before. What was it, like 2.5 years after it come out?
Something like that. I don't honestly know. I haven't played this one, so I don't know much of the time frame of it.
You need to.
There's a lot of games I need to play, yet I find myself playing Final Fantasy VII again.
Oh, let me guess, on the Switch.
Yeah, on the Switch. There's just something poetic about playing a game on Switch that never came to a Nintendo product.
Okay, now I do have a question for you. It's gonna be a series of line of questions here for you.
All right, quest away.
So how many systems have you played Final Fantasy VII on? Let's start with the PlayStation. I'm guessing, right?
PlayStation 3 was the first system I played it on when I bought it backwards compatible from their store.
Really? You never played on the original PlayStation?
I had an N64 then. I never had an original PlayStation.
Oh, that's on you. But go. So did you ever beat it on the PS3?
I don't think so because I got distracted by something else. So I've never actually beaten Final Fantasy VII. So the goal is this time that I will beat Final Fantasy VII because, hey, I don't have to share the TV. I can play that while someone else is watching TV.
And I will share a joke that I saw from our mutual friend who was on the network, Peter Melinek. He had a great saying there was oh great, another system I can not beat Final Fantasy VII on.
Yeah, I saw that one, and there's some fact to that. I intend to beat it. Let me put it that way. Whether it actually happens or not, I don't know.
There was a time in my life when I had a PSP, and I got a Final Fantasy VII for it, and that was the first time I ever beat it. Just straight through. I was like just straight up beat it. It wasn't the easier version either that you get probably with the Switch now, where you can pretty much make yourself invincible, give yourself infinite money. Just, I mean, it's mostly like for people just trying to grind. You just put invincibility so you can just hit people and also like do max damage every hit, just for people to grind because it assumes people have played through it and they're just trying to get through it a bit more, just through the boring parts. So you can get to the fun parts. You can always switch it on and off with the press of a button. I'm guessing that's because that's how they did it for the PS4, which was just a re-release of the PC version.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm telling you.
The Switch one's also re-released, the PC version one also, so it's got some of the stuff baked into it. Like you click in the left thumbstick and everything moves at 3 times speed.
Yeah, that's part of so it's exactly the same as the PS4 version.
Yeah, they just updated the buttons so that instead of it being the X button on a PlayStation controller, like use the A button and things like that.
Well, technically it wasn't. That was one of the games because for like most Japanese games, the X button was usually cancel and the circle button was to accept. Because just like circle for accept and X is the back. No, I don't want that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I just started playing it again. It was on sale. It was like $17 on the e-store, and I went, okay, let me get this so that maybe I'll finally actually beat it. I will be one of the people that is sneered and looked down upon because I would much rather have Final Fantasy VIII on there because it's one of my favorites, and everyone's like,
God.
I hate that one. It's terrible.
Oh God,
I like a Gunblade.
I like that too, but the magic system is the only problem I have with that game. The magic system is bullshit. It's pretty much, it penalizes you for using magic.
We've had this conversation before, and I was just going to leave it at that, saying that's the one Final Fantasy game that's not actually coming to the Switch, because they just put 10 and 9 on there, I think it was, and a few other ones. There's all sorts
your
of
your options, Chris, or we can argue about Final Fantasy VIII being a terrible fucking game that it is, or we can talk about what Mr. President mentioned in here, the one where Willie talks about the first time he beat it.
I was just going to let Anthony do his news of the week.
And I could tell that story.
Let's just let Anthony do his news of the week.
Sorry, Mr. President. You hear the host of the podcast here.
Well, when he meant beat it, he meant Final Fantasy VII, and I'm not sure how great a story that is.
Yes, he did.
He didn't.
He meant Final Fantasy VII.
Mr. President, please explain yourself.
He was referring to Final Fantasy VII because he was talking about the fact that Chris didn't beat it, and that's why Chris was all backed up.
That's right.
He's backed up because he hadn't given me a $7 million. I had to do my job.
What's your news, Anthony?
My news is that Willie's awful.
That's not new.
No, it's just been confirmed again this week.
That's accurate.
No. My news is that I went to a movie yesterday and saw a trailer for the upcoming Child's Play. And once again, I was like, it's a new company. Like, it's not the same toy company. Like, it's a big, global company making this smart toy that like scans the kid and then has AI in it, and it's called a buddy. It's not called a good guy. Like, there's a scene in the trailer where the kid Andy, who's like in the original movie was like 8 years old, and in this one he's got like a lead pipe in one hand and a chainsaw in the other, and he's calling Chucky out like, "Bring it, motherfucker." It's like it's just too much. As like, everything about this makes me not want to see it. From what I had heard, there was a TV series being worked on as well as the movie, and the original voice of Chucky and the writer-director of the original Child's Play movies were all working on the TV show. So this all made me not want to watch the movie. Aubrey Plaza's in it as the mom, which is cool. But other than that, I had no real reason to even want to see this flick until yesterday. Because during an announcement at a convention yesterday, Mark Hamill put out a video on his Instagram and his Twitter letting the world know that he will be the new voice of Chucky. And so, God damn it, now I kind of want to see it.
Do you really? Does that really make you want to see it just because of who the voice actor of it is?
Yes, because it's that fucking... Mark Hamill is one of the best fucking voice actors of our generation. He's done some of the best villains ever. He's literally the Fire Lord. He's the fucking Joker. He was the Green Goblin. Like, he's done so much great stuff.
But can I do have an expert on this subject. Do you mind me if I bring him in?
As long as it's not Reverend Willie, I'm okay.
Oh, no, it's not Reverend Willie. It's my buddy over here. The original Chucky doll in the real life. The My Buddy doll. I had 2 of these as a kid.
That's fucking terrifying. I would never have one of those in my home.
Is it really terrifying?
I'd fucking burn that thing.
I have 2 of them in my place.
You know how Naki feels about this? Fuck that doll.
For those on audio, he was holding up Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'll crush your doll's fucking head and put him in a fireplace where he belongs.
This is my buddy right here. So yeah,
Fuck
they never freaked me out. I don't know why it freaks everyone else out. I used to be pretty fucking evil though. I have the bathroom in this place is actually pretty large. But the sink you got, as soon as you walk in, the sink's to the left, like the whole vanity type area, and it kind of cuts off right there. Just more wall to the linen closet or whatever, for the towels and whatnot. And then the toilet's to the right. So when you walk in, there's that little section on the left side that's behind, like toward after the sink cuts off, that you can't see when you walk in. I put my buddy doll right down there, and I wait for some of my friends to go use the bathroom.
That's terrifying.
You're an asshole.
And so when the girls sit down, they just look across the way like, "What the fuck?" I heard so many people yell out from there. I'm an asshole.
Yes, you are. But yeah,
I'm a funny asshole.
That's my news of the week. They finally give me a reason to want to see the new Child's Play movie, and I have to go with the company. This is a good reason.
Yeah, but there's so many cons. Does this one pro make it big enough to actually warrant a ticket purchase?
I'm not sure if it's enough to make me see it in the theater. It guarantees I will see it, because before I wasn't even sure if I was going to see it eventually.
If it comes on Netflix, I'll watch the shit out of it.
Well, this guarantees I will see it, but this might be a red box instead of waiting for Netflix.
I'll wait for Netflix. Hell, the other 2 that go on Netflix were damn good. Why don't they just continue with those? Not a TV show that they're planning.
I don't know.
They even had what's her name? Dourif's daughter.
Yeah, they had Brad Dourif's daughter in the last 2.
Her name?
She was really good.
She was in that show. Dirk Gently, Holistic Detective. She was so good in that. That's what I got to say about that.
So, looking in the chat room, Sailor Poland says,
Fiona Dourif.
Willie, you're not an asshole. You're an amateur. What you should do is wait until they go in the bathroom. You then put the Chucky doll on a stand and lean it against the door. Then when they open the door, the doll lunges at them. I have so much to teach you.
The problem with that is how hard it would be to do that silently without them noticing something's being messed with on the door.
The problem with that is that if you did that, that woman, whoever it is, would never ever have sex with you again. And so that's why you shouldn't do that.
Why are you assuming that he's going to have sex with whoever's there?
Because they're females in Willie's house, and the only reason that they would be there is if it was someone that was sleeping with the Willie because they like furry guys. Women. No, he doesn't.
I have friends. Hannah, she's a good platonic friend. She's my best platonic woman friend.
Has she ever been to your house?
Yes.
Hmm.
And the Chucky doll was in there. I think she just kind of laughed at it though. She's like, what? She's kind of like, what the hell, Willie?
Your theory's disproven. She's a female friend of his that was at his house, and he didn't hit it.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've had plenty of girls that come in here that have not had sex. Well, not plenty.
See?
I didn't say not plenty.
I'm working the percentages.
There's at least a
I'm
handful.
more right than wrong, Chris. I'm more
At
right
least
than wrong.
a handful. And that's also you think that would stop them from having sex with me? You don't know how good a sex I give.
Willie, are you going to comfort them because they're scared? Is that what your move is?
I'm worth all $70 million.
Well,
Jesus.
we'll leave that open to interpretation.
And to your dick.
Okay.
Would you rather talk about my dick, Chris?
No, I would rather not. This does
So
wrap
let's talk
up the
about your
news of the
dick.
week. We're not going to be talking about anyone's penises anymore, or ever.
I'm about to say, are you sure? I don't know.
I'm certainly going to try.
Because I think I know what's coming up, and it might come up again.
It very well could. So if you were tuned into the show last week, you heard us come up with gold for a new segment for the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, courtesy of a name suggestion for Mr. President. So guess what, guys? We're going all in. We're going to get some more advice from Willie this week in a little segment we like to call Unprotected Advice.
Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson.
I'm protected all the way in, baby.
That's right. You know it's official when we bust out a new bump for a segment. So this is Unprotected Advice with Willie Nelson, where he gives you his view on what you should do. So if you have things you need advice on, please, we encourage you, send them to us, Facebook, Twitter, anything like that. Until then, we're going to poach a few things from Reddit and get Willie's advice for how people should handle situations.
First thing, I do have some things to say at the very beginning. But also, firstly, Bachman, how'd you like that intro? He's shaking his head no. I really enjoyed it. He didn't know this was going to happen.
He didn't know there was an intro bump for this segment.
I did not know there was
a
a bump.
surprise for everyone.
And of course, I will also have to say I am no professional. This is just me giving advice from my own experiences and also from my moral compass.
That's right. And like we mentioned, if you have things you want advice on, Willie will happily give you that advice. You just need to send it in to us. Until then, go ahead. Sir.
And I can see Bachman shaking his head when I said my moral compass. Just because I don't listen to my own moral compass doesn't mean it's not there.
It's like a broken clock. It's right twice a day.
I mean, I can give you the right advice. Whether or not I would follow it myself, that's on you. But here, let me get a little sexier. Let me unbutton one of these buttons. There we go.
Oh, it's on now.
Oh,
So-
you know what? It's a 2-button day.
Oh,
There we go.
oh.
I got an undershirt on. Don't worry.
There you go. We're good. So what we are doing this week is we've got 2 advice questions or queries from Reddit r/relationship advice. One of which is only 20 minutes old. So Willie, you can be one of the first to give advice here. So,
I got this.
Willie, let's see if you can help out MotoMan687 on Reddit, who posted, "Making a move on a girl you've been friends with for a year. Advice." Title says it. I, 22-year-old male, have known this girl, 22-year-old female, after being introduced to her over a year and a half ago. The problem is I became friends with several of her girlfriends, so we all hang out together. As friends, of course. Truth is, I do value having everyone's friendship and wouldn't want to ruin that. But I also want more than just a platonic friend. Want to be more than just a platonic friend to this one girl. I realize that if I express my feelings, it will likely end or change the friendship, so I'll have to stop hanging out with them and just walk away if things don't go as planned. Advice?
Well, this is a bit of a tricky one. I will give you that. If you are 100% sure you want to go on with it and to ask her out, I will say do it as soon as possible. Let your intentions be fully known that I want to date you. Don't don't pussyfoot around it or anything. You gotta make your intentions known. Like, hey, I want to date you. In regards to the friendship thing and to the whole group of friends, I would say, you know what, it might change things, especially at that age. Mindsets of people, like I've been there. It could change things, but it also could not. There is a chance it just couldn't. Like, oh, you don't want to date me? You don't see me like that? Like, that's cool, and you can just still be friends if you can do that. I mean, some people cannot. They get rejected. Like, well, I guess I'm just not friends with these people anymore. That can make sense, at least with that one person. You gotta be ready and mentally. That is a possibility, but you also prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. You got to keep on though.
How did Wayne Gretzky put it? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you really like this girl, you got to take a shot. And
I don't know baseball.
And then realize that this may not work out 100% of the right way. You might end up making things awkward for a little bit. If you've truly been friends with this friend group for a year and a half, an awkward attempt to start a relationship with one girl you like there, probably not going to damage it permanently. There could be some awkwardness after a while if she's just kind of like, yeah, no. Or you got to try.
And I would say, like, don't go in the mindset of, like, starting a relationship. Go on a couple of dates, see if you have, like, chemistry in that, romantic way. Well, don't, like, put it into, like, we're going to have a relationship. We're going to be together forever. I can see how people put blinders on for that. Just go and try to have a good time first. That's key. It'll also alleviate pressure off yourself too if you're also in that mindset. Like, we're just going on dates. Like, if it proceeds to that point, just woosah. And I also like the way it's said better of you can't hit a home run or if you don't take a swing. That's a much better one than the 100% of shots. Blah, blah, blah.
It's Wayne Gretzky, dude.
Wayne Gretzky can suck a dick. I know he's got $7 million. I wonder how he got it.
By playing hockey and being one of the best that ever played.
We don't talk about Canadian sports.
All right, so Willie, you got a solid bout of advice in. Are you ready to do one more that's also kind of serious?
Sure, I'm a serious guy. I give perfectly good advice. I can joke, but these advices are perfectly from my heart.
So this is also from r/relationship advice. It is a poster of 6 hours ago using a throwaway account.
Mm-hmm.
The title is, I, 32-year-old male, met an awesome girl, 25-year-old female. She told me she's Hep B positive after we had sex.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time? Did you say HIV positive?
Hep B positive.
Oh, Hep B. Hep B.
Hep B.
Remind me. I know I've always heard hepatitis. What exactly does it do to you? Does it like lower your immune system down at all?
I believe it causes complications with liver and things like that. That is not the prep work I had done on this as I was going to go and read these stories for you.
No, that's probably not. If you off the top of your head, I mean, either way, that's, and I'm guessing unprotected sex.
That is.
Do they specify?
That is what I saw in there when I went and read it. I'll read the rest of it here in a second, but according to the World Health Organization, hepatitis B is a viral infection that attacks the liver and can cause both acute and chronic disease. The virus is transmitted through contact with the blood or other body fluids of an infected person.
And I will, if this kind of gives away too much, I see you're trying to do this in layers, which is A-okay. Without like, spoiling too much, did she know at the time of their sexual activity that she had that?
She did, is what we'll get into. Now, the other thing
before we go ahead anything, that is a crime.
Yes.
If you know that you have an STD and you do not tell someone something that is potentially life-threatening, just shutting down, you said your liver, right?
It can impact the liver.
Yeah, that is a crime. So just want to state that fact first off before we go on.
So additional notes on it. You can protect yourself by getting the hepatitis B vaccine and having safe sex. So it is something that can be prevented via vaccination. It does not exactly... Yeah, it can go away, but you remain a carrier the rest of your life if you do get it.
I'm a little curious at how, what are the percentages of how well that vaccine actually works? Like, I'm sure it's not 100%. but I'm sure I would hope it's at least in the 90s.
Right. So from what I read there, you can get the infection, you can have an issue, and you will recover from that, but you always have the potential to be a carrier from that point forward. So let's go in to this throwaway account's description of what their evening was like so you can get the full story to then be able to give them your advice. So he says, I met a girl while out of town traveling through Bumble. We really hit it off and had an amazing time together. We spent the next couple days hanging out. She has an amazing personality, and I adore everything about her. We had sex, and it was great as well. I really should have, but I didn't use a condom. After spending a few days together, I came back home last week and have been talking to her every day since. She has booked a flight ticket to come see me in a few months. I could not have been more excited. All was well until today when she told me she needed to tell me something. That she has an illness and she is Hep B positive, that she believes she got it prenatally. My heart sank. I asked her why she didn't tell me this before we had sex, or even ask me to come up knowing this. She said she was so happy that she forgot to tell me, something along the lines of she wanted to feel like a normal girl. I got off the phone and gave myself some time to think. I knew nothing, so I started Googling. I think back and I'm pretty sure I am vaccinated for both Hep A and B maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Can't remember when I got the last dose though. So I think I'm safe from the disease. I've made a doctor's appointment to be sure. I called her back later and talked about this again. I told her what she did is reckless and irresponsible and what she did is wrong, that she broke my trust. She agreed and said that she's sorry. She doesn't want to give up on us. I'm torn. I really like this girl a lot. She honestly makes me so happy, but considering she knowingly put me in harm's way, I don't know if I should continue this. Any thoughts and advice would really be appreciated. So Willie, you've got the full story that this guy's made with his throwaway account. Tell us how you think this goes, or what he should do.
He seems like he's right around my age, a little younger. So I think I remember getting hepatitis vaccines in middle school. I don't know if that was countrywide or just my area. I don't know. I don't know which ones they gave us vaccines for. I have a memory of that, though. They gave us like little air needles, though. I remember that being cool. But here nor there. So, I mean, I'm sure he's vaccinated for it. If it was hepatitis B, we got a shot.
And Google does say that the immunologic memory, i.e. the vaccination, lasts for about 20 years among healthy vaccinated individuals. So if he got it, say, about the same time you did...
Ooh, that might be wearing out.
he could be on the tail end of its effectiveness. If it was around middle school, so say 12 to 14, then he got that. He's 32 now.
Oof.
Time for that booster shot.
Pretty much. And regards with staying with the girl, to be honest with you, that is a very personal decision that you have to see that if you do want to stay with her and you do want to make a try, are you able to look past or forgive that she did something like that? And I would, to do it sooner than later is probably the best, because the more you wait on it, you're like, that's just going to make it just worse for everybody. We're like a year in, like, I'm sorry, I've been trying just to forgive you for this and I can't. That's just like horrible for everybody then.
I don't know how it's forgivable from my personal point of view. Like Sailor Poland in the chat, bullshit, she knew.
And the fact that she was like, I was caught up. I forgot about telling you beforehand. Like, you knew when those clothes started coming off, like, well, maybe I have to tell you something.
Yeah,
first.
as per Sailor Poland, if she's that easily distracted, who knows what else she would lie about. This would be an enormous red flag to me. It doesn't matter to me how much you like the person, what kind of chemistry there was. Within the first few days of your relationship, she lied to you about something that puts your health at risk.
Yeah.
It'd be another thing if she told you, I have this, and you still made the decision to have sex after that. You both are aware of the potential complications. This was, she didn't tell you.
But like I said, this is very personal. It's all up to him, man. I mean, some things you just have to do on your own. And I can give you the best advice is like, just make sure you are okay with it if you want to continue on with it. If you can forgive and go on, that is all on you. Chris, obviously, he seems like he cannot forgive that, which is okay in its own right. That's probably okay. Either way you go, it's okay. It's just make sure you are good with your decision, with yourself. But man, she did a crime pretty much. Is that just like some states it's a crime? I know in California
I don't know what the legal rules are, but there are some
probably
places
state
where
by
it is.
state.
And is it only certain STDs that it is a thing with?
I don't
think?
know. I mean, she
I
put
don't
him
know.
at risk without him knowing what was going on.
I believe it's anything permanent. It's basically assault. Because anything that you can go get a shot and it just goes away, it's like giving someone a cold. But stuff that actually permanently affects your health, I believe that's when it becomes a crime.
I mean, you have a vaccine to prevent it from happening, but there's no vaccine to get rid of it as you have it, right?
That is my understanding.
Yeah, so
it is incurable.
Suncast says it's only a misdemeanor in California to knowingly give someone HIV or AIDS.
but a
That's
misdemeanor is still a crime.
Yeah,
As far as
it's still a crime.
So I wasn't sure what it was. I knew it was something somewhere in California. I couldn't remember exactly. Yeah, that's still fucking terrible. Me personally, I would say we're done. I have to go make sure. I have to go get tested now.
Right,
This
and
is done.
credit
That's
to
what I would do.
credit to this guy on Reddit. He said he is getting tested right now. Once he found out, which is exactly what he should do. Now he's struggling with figuring out what he needs to do, and I'm sure he's going to get varying different types of advice. But were it me, I would be in the situation where I'd be like, yeah, I don't think we can continue down this path. Had you told me this before we started this, that's probably not necessarily a deal breaker, but you knowingly put me at risk.
But like I said, it's very personal. If you feel like you can, then go for it by all means. But just be prepared that, like Bachman also said, like she or someone else, I forget who, she will probably lie about something else. That is a good possibility. Not saying it's a guarantee. It is a very good possibility.
So one last topic for some unprotected advice from Willie Nelson. Relationship advice doesn't always have to be about romantic things. It could be about friendships. So Willie, this came in anonymously, and the person said something to the effect of, I keep having disagreements with my friends I talk with on the internet each week about what controller type is superior. How do I resolve these problems?
Well, here's how you resolve the issue here. You just realize that the PlayStation controller has been pretty much the same throughout the generations with minor little tweaks, but it's been the same controller, and it's been gold every generation. Let's look at when the PS1 first came in. What was its main competitor? The N64. Look at that fucking controller. Look at the N64 controller. That controller is fucked. I don't got 3 hands. How am I supposed to run this properly?
Although controller is a weird ass design.
It was really weird.
And let's go on to the next generation. To the PS2. Let's make comparisons with the GameCube and Xbox original. Since I can't say Xbox One now. Fucking stupid ass name. The Xbox One as a console is a perfectly fine console. It's a perfectly fine console. Not saying anything bad about the console, Xbox One. But yeah, but the fucking name's stupid. But yeah. Let's look back at that. Let's look at the original Xbox controller. That fucking behemoth of a controller where you needed my size hands to work it properly. And now everyone has my size hands. It worked all right for me. But and then let's look at the GameCube controller. That was a weird ass controller, just a button layout with like the big giant A button, the little tiny B button, and the X and Y. Yeah. I did like the ergonomics of the X and Y with the big A button. It made sense. But then the clickiness of the left and right triggers were just really weird. Yeah.
I like how seriously he's taking this joke question I asked him. Thank you, Willie.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'll take this whole segment seriously. I mean, I will throw jokes in there, but this is all serious.
I appreciate
it's serious enough. It actually makes me a little concerned. It's kind of creepy.
But just as long as you realize the PS4 is the best controller out there, PlayStation continuously does that. Well, and let's go back a little bit of news of the week here, because there's been a prototype of the PS5 controller.
Wait, so we got to transition out of this segment first, Willie.
No. It's just a little bit onto the question. This makes sense. Now, I'm not sure if this is true. This is just rumor. A picture has been leaked where the PS4 controller or the PS5 controller, the little touch bar where that is, will be like a screen, like an actual video screen. That's actually a little interesting. Will it be a touch screen, though? I don't know. They just had a picture of it.
So then they're working their way back to Dreamcast?
With the, what was it called? The VMU?
With the virtual memory unit.
Yeah, it had the virtual memory unit.
Holy shit, I never owned a Dreamcast. Fuck yeah, I'm good.
You basically had a Tamagotchi inside of a memory card that's stuck inside the middle of your controller.
Now, did it actually show
so weird?
Did it show images while it was plugged in as a memory card?
I believe so.
All right, I wasn't sure of that because, like I said, I never.
I think it depended on the game, because I only ever remember playing Tony Hawk on that system, and I don't remember what the controllers showed during the play of Tony Hawk.
But yeah, that's so I'm not sure what it's going to be. That was just a little rumor or a picture. Whether or not it's even true or not, I don't know. I'm just letting you know what I've seen. It's just interesting to see what the next generation is going to hold. So that's all I had for that.
It surely is.
Is there any other bullshit questions you have for me?
No. That is going to wrap it up. Hey guys,
whoa. The first two, genuine, good. The last one, bullshit, because we all know the PlayStation controller is just best.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Willie. So if you have suggestions for things Willie should tackle in his next Unprotected Advice segment, please send them to us. We'll pull some stuff out from Reddit. We're probably not going to do it every week, but if you want to get an episode or get the back catalog of Willie's advice segments, go to unprotectedadvice.com. It'll take you to all of our episodes featuring this advice segment. So thank you so much for everyone joining us on this latest installment.
Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson.
I'm protected all the way in, baby.
There you go. That wraps up the latest segment of Unprotected Advice with Willie Nelson. Honestly, I just wanted to hit the bump button a second time because it really entertains me. Trying to find the cheesiest music possible on Google's free music library. I think we found it.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Okay, one last question, because Sailor Poland had it. I know we're outside the segment, but this is just a generic question. Willie, I have a question. How much sawdust can I add to Rice Krispie treats before anyone notices?
Well, I can actually answer this properly for you, surprisingly.
That's what I thought.
So you can't really just kind of add to it and then let people try it and try it. You have to trial and error it with yourself first. Do you like make batches and like you have to add and when it starts tickling your throat in a bad way, that's when you know you're going a little too far. Step back, I would say a quarter of a cup back from there. And then you should be golden.
So there you go. There's some more straight up advice from Willie Nelson. You guys should listen to him. He knows what he's talking about sometimes.
Why the fuck are you cutting your Rice Krispie treats with sawdust?
Shits and giggles?
Our job is not to question why they're doing it. It's to give the best advice of how to do
your job is to give the advice. My job is to question what the fuck is wrong with Sailor Poland and why is he putting sawdust in his snacks?
I mean, it is Willie's job because he has his own segment.
Exactly.
So you're going to do the whole thing again?
I was not going to do the whole thing again. But looking at the time, it is time for us to begin wrapping up this show. And as we wrap the show up, we do a segment each week called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into so that maybe, just maybe, you might want to check them out yourselves. So Anthony, kick us off. What have you been getting into?
Lots of video games. I've been playing Anthem. The new 1.04 patch came out this week. They introduced Elysium chests. They buffed the ability to fly longer in the javelins without needing a cooldown. They made it to where all the javelins, everything got kind of a work over to where pretty much everything hits harder. So I'm taking down enemies easier, which is a bit nice. Did my first dungeon run on GM2 with my ranger once I got up to masterwork level. So I now have the second highest level category you can get. I got my first legendary drop, which was an explosive blaze fire grenade. So I now have a legendary, which once you have one, it basically with the algorithms and stuff, it makes it easier to get more. So now I'll be heading towards building up my legendary javelin. But yeah, even after the buff GM2, like I got melted 3 or 4 times and went down in the dungeon that I was in. We ended up completing it, but it hurt. But yeah, so I can go into GM1 now and just wreck shop, which is kind of fun because it's like playing almost in God mode. Like you're just going through and just tearing things up. And then playing a bunch of Apex Legends with Vlyn and Willie, or not Vlyn and Wayne. Willie hasn't been on
because I don't have it.
You don't have Apex Legends anymore?
Oh, Apex Legends. I was still talking about Anthem.
Yeah, no, I switch games. You're not paying attention, goddammit.
Anthem, Apex Legends, both start with an A. Give me a break.
Yeah, and they both start with EA, and they both had server problems yesterday where even though the servers were all up, I would have to log into a game 3 or 4 fucking times before it would actually let me in, which is goddamn annoying. But yeah, played a good chunk out of both of those yesterday. I'm over halfway through the battle pass for Apex Legends and actually having a lot of fun. Had a couple of really good matches yesterday. got my daily kill, I believe, with every character I have unlocked. I love the new character Octane, who has a speed boost that makes him run super fast, a launch pad, and then he has a slow regen as his standby ability. So he hurts himself to do the speed boost, but then slowly heals it back. But yeah, we had a couple of good matches, and then went and saw Us, Jordan Peele's new movie, which is super fucking creepy. I really like it. I don't think I like it quite as much as Get Out, but I definitely enjoyed it. And Winston Duke is fucking hilarious in it. For those that don't know, he was the Gorilla King in Black Panther. He plays the husband in Us, and it's really funny to see him as just this big kind of goofy nice guy.
So you're saying he's the dad in it, right?
Yeah, he's the dad.
You say he's very hilarious. Does that mean he does a lot of dad jokes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a dork. Like, yeah, he's a non-cool dad with his kids. So yeah, it's that part is really funny, and then it gets super fucking creepy. It is such a strange film. There is something so very exquisitely broken in Jordan Peele's head that he's coming up with these goddamn movies, and I love it because I can't wait to see what he's going to do with the Twilight Zone and like his next 10 films. Because these being his first 2 films, Get Out and Us, like the dude has an understanding of horror from a brand new director in a way that I haven't seen from anybody in a long time. He's got a grip on how to fucking scare people and just put together terrifying sequences. And yeah, it was really good. But yeah, it's definitely a trippy movie. And yeah, if you can, go see it before it gets spoiled for you, because there is a huge spoiler. There's a huge, not like an M. Night Shyamalan twist, but like there is a twist. But yeah, it was really good. Lupita Nyong'o kicks ass in it. She's the main character, the main actress. She was a mascot in Star Wars and also in Black Panther. So these 2 actors had just worked together previously. So apparently they probably enjoyed working together. We're happy to go do another movie together. But yeah, it was really fun. And then sadly found out yesterday while I was chatting with my friend Willie before we went and saw the movie, she stopped watching the Fast and the Furious franchise at movie 3, which I think a lot of people fell off at Tokyo Drift before they actually got fun, and before Gal Gadot gets introduced, and before they become, as my buddy Julian puts it, the Black Avengers, where they basically save the world every week with a car. And so I looked on Amazon, and they just did the update. There's now the full Blu-ray and DVD and digital HD 8-movie collection right now for $45. So I'm going to order that with my tax money, and then give her the digital so that she can catch up on all of the goodness that is the Fast and the Furious. Because I mentioned the fact that they were getting a spinoff and that Hobbs and Shaw was coming out, and she's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "How the fuck do you not know who Hobbs and Shaw are? God damn it, you are missing out. That's some good shit."
Did you hear what the 10th movie should be called?
No.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Fasten your seatbelts.
I see what you
I thought it was great. It fits in with how they're naming them.
But yeah, so it'll be fun because I'm going to order that now that I got my tax money, and so I'm looking forward to. I'll probably sit down and do like an all 8. I'll take a weekend and watch all 8 movies again, which will be just insane because I don't think I've ever watched them all in a row since they came out. I'm pretty sure I haven't watched Too Fast, Too Furious since like the second time I watched it. I think I watched that twice because I was really drunk the first time, and I think I watched it the second time and went, "Yep, that was not good."
But
yeah,
I kept up with that naming scheme. 3 Fast, 3 Furious, 4 Fast, 4 Furious, 5 Fast. It was been awesome.
It would have been utterly ridiculous, but also those movies are utterly ridiculous. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I'm going to order those, and I'm gonna do a movie marathon and watch all 8 of them again because they're just goddamn enjoyable. And then I finished off the 5th book of the Galactic Football League, which was really good. That was such a crazy story. And then I picked up on the recommendation of one of my friends at work by Neil Schusterman, the new Scythe book, which has been pretty cool so far. I'm about halfway through it. It's another young adult series, kind of like aimed at becoming a movie franchise, I'm guessing. But it's a futuristic world where we've conquered death as humans, and so people don't die anymore. Like if you literally jump off a building, fall 80 stories, and splat on the ground, you'll wake up 3 days later in a regen hospital where they just put you back together and you're fine. Every human has nanites that basically dull pain, keep you from aging, makes you age slower, and then they made it to where if you get too old, you can go and turn the corner, as they call it, and you can genetically rewrite your code to where you de-age 50, 60, 70 years and go back to being in your 20s. And so it's a world where we've conquered mortality, so all humans are immortal and they're living forever, and they realize the only way to control that is there has to be some type of population control, and so they invented a thing called scythes. And scythes are people who go around and basically randomly murder people in society to keep the population down. Yeah, I knew Willie would enjoy that.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah, well, because of that right there, that's the reason you wouldn't ever get the job. Anybody who wants to be a scythe isn't allowed to be.
No, I the only reason I want to is because I believe so much into in the population control. That's the only reason. No, I'm being dead serious. Population control is a serious issue that we need to tackle.
It's a pretty cool book so far. I'm looking forward to it. I guess the second one is coming out. It's already out in hardcover. It's not out in paperback yet. I think on Amazon it said it's being released in June. It's called Thunderhead, which is kind of cool. In this world, the reason governments are gone and basically there's no poor people anymore is because the cloud system was given an AI, and then basically all the combined intelligence of all the data on Earth became a functioning system that refers to itself as the Thunderhead. And once it was given control of all countries in the world, it basically stopped all war, got rid of poor people, and disbanded the government.
So we were talking about actual clouds, though, right?
No. We're talking about cloud computer software.
Yeah, man,
and it became the Thunderhead.
I was going to make a joke that Skynet actually went to the sky.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. But yeah, so the second book of the Scythe series, or the arc of the Scythe series, which is a great title for the series, is, the second book is called Thunderhead. Yeah, it's pretty cool so far. These people, just wandering around society, and like some of them, like they have like their list of commandments of the ways they do and can't do their job, and some of the stuff that is allowed in this society is kind of weird because, of course, if people lived forever, like it would very much change who we are as a people, and so some of the issues that the author tackles are really interesting. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one and looking forward to reading the second one. But that's what I'm going to get into.
I mean, technically, we couldn't live forever just because, our matter has a half-life.
Well, apparently in this world, they've addressed that.
Oh, so fair enough.
They're only a couple thousand years into the lifespan of what do they call it? The post-mortality world, where they don't worry about dying anymore.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I will go next then. I already talked about it, playing Final Fantasy VII on the Switch right now. Also played a little bit of Vampire on the Xbox because I picked it up I talked about it last week, like $20, something like that. It's all right. I have started watching on Netflix Lost in Space. I'm on episode 4, about halfway through it right now. I've really enjoyed it so far. It kind of scratches that sci-fi itch. And then my new show for watching at the gym right now, because I need something that's going to be on there for a while. So I went down the CW route because I wanted something that was sci-fi that I knew they had. Started watching The 100. I'm like 2 episodes in right now. I'm told wait till about episode 6 to make a call on whether I like it or not, because that's when things get crazy. But I sort of like it so far. It's not insane right now, but it's interesting. You can certainly tell the target is the CW audience on some of the things because it's all that younger cast and things like that. But we'll see where it goes.
I will tell you, I've seen some random issues just like that came on after a show I was watching. There is some crazy fucked up combat in that show. There's some really cool characters, and it's one of Stephen King's favorite TV shows. So eventually it's got to get really good. Because, he says he absolutely loves it. He tweets about it all the fucking time.
Yeah, I've heard good things, and season 6 just dropped on Netflix. So I've got 6 seasons worth of it to watch. And so when I go to the gym, I spend an hour on the elliptical before I do anything else. So that's about an episode and a quarter, episode and a half done each time I go to the gym. So it should take me a while to burn through on this. And then, God, I don't think I've really been getting into much else. Just been busy with work and things like that. So that's what I've been getting into. Willie Nelson, finish things up for us. What have you been getting into, sir?
Well, first thing, I did go to the to get some more movies, of course.
Of course.
I got because I've been waiting for it to go on a good enough sale or drop in price enough to get it, because I was like, this has got to be $10. That's all as much as I'm going to pay for it. And it finally was Kong Skull Island.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, $10. That's the right price. You got
Blu-ray and digital for $10?
Yep, and DVD.
Hell yeah. Nice.
I was like, that's what I needed. And then to continue on with the Studio Ghibli, because I finally watched Spirited Away Friday. And it was a pretty good movie. But I also picked up before I watched it as Princess Mononoke.
I just got that one.
Yeah, but both those do not have the digital. I was a little sad by that. They're just Blu-ray and DVD. It's like, well, fine. And then because I saw the trailer for it, and I still haven't watched it yet, and actually none of these actually opened up yet, but I was so curious. I saw this trailer for this movie, MFKZ, pretty much motherfuckers. And it's an animated movie. It looks like a very heavy anime style, but I'm not sure. I think it's made by Americans, I believe. I'm not 100% on that.
That's funky.
But the
looking.
trailer made it look crazy as shit, and I like crazy. So I would definitely recommend watching the trailer for it, see if it's something you would like. Other than that, I've been getting to Dead by Daylight, of course, trying to play some more of that. I did play a little bit of Apex. I'm still unsure if I would get the Battle Pass, whatever they call it, just because I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing enough of it to make it worth it.
That's fair.
Because it is like, what, $20 or something for it?
No, there's a cheap version of it for 10, and then there's the
who wants that?
There's the expanded version of it. Yeah, I think it's 20, and that gives you everything that's in the $10 one, and it gives you the first 25 levels.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It just gives you the first 25 levels.
Yeah, it just boosts you up 25 levels.
How many? Are there 50 levels, I'm guessing?
110.
Okay.
Yeah, 100 is technically like the end for the season, and then it goes 10 more for the bonus additions to the Havoc. Because apparently at the very end of it, you get a skin for the Havoc, where as you're going through the game, the skin changes depending on your number of kills.
Oh, go.
Yeah, so as you're playing a match, when you get your first kill, your Havoc starts glowing. When you get your third kill, it starts glowing more. When you get your fifth kill, it goes like supernova.
So I would never see that.
Hey,
awesome.
exactly.
Me neither.
And last week I did mention I was going through the Legend of Korra. I started it last Friday, like the last weekend. I started Friday night, and I did finish it that Sunday night. All of it, the entirety of the entire show. Watched all those damn discs. And I forget how much of a pain ass is to get up to switch disc.
I still haven't finished it.
First
I
world
gotta watch
problems,
the last
man.
season.
And then I think I'm up to 6 times of watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse
Nice.
in total,
I'm at 3.
counting the theater as well. And then I started Thursday morning. I got a text from my friend, and she told me that I need to start watching the show because it's creepy, and she thought I'd like it, and she really got into it. It's called The Act on Hulu. It is based on true story that this really did happen. I have not looked up any of what happened fully because I kind of just want to go through the show and let the show tell me its story because I'm more interested in that. But the gist of it is like a mother and daughter that just moved to Missouri from Louisiana in 2009. It was after Hurricane Katrina. I kind of like went through. Pretty much she's lying to everybody that her daughter has all these sicknesses and everything, leukemia, some allergy to sugar. But when in reality she can really walk, she doesn't. And some of the lies, even the daughter believes. Like she still really thinks she's allergic to sugar.
It was like the world's worst case of Munchausen syndrome.
That's what it's called. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's only 3 episodes in right now. They are releasing these weekly. I wish it was more like Netflix where they just plop, there it all is. But nope, we have to go week by week. But in episode 4, I think they come out on Wednesdays. And I don't want to give too much away, but a lot of these are really cringy moments. I'm like, oh God, why is this happening? Oh God, no. But a big reveal is like when you find out, like when she finds out how old she really is, you're like, wait, what? I was like, she's that old? Holy shit.
So even her age is a lie?
Yeah, the mother's like lying the whole time. Oh my God. And even in the 3rd episode, they introduce an actor I really like. I forget his name in Breaking Bad. He was the brother-in-law, the DEA agent.
Yeah,
Hank.
I forget his real name, the actor's name, but he shows up in it. I'm like, oh, that's nice. He's a good actor. He's really good in this too. He's only in a little bit, but he's a good actor from it. Like I get lost in his I believe he is this character. It is different too than the Breaking Bad character. What else has he been in? Anything else I would have known about? I guess I could look it up, but
I'll tell you in a second.
I don't know if any of you guys know off the top of your head. You're like, oh yeah, he was in this. That's all.
Dean Norris is his name.
Yeah, yep. As soon as you said it, it clicked.
Total Recall, Under the Dome, Get the Gringo.
Under the Dome, yes, I remember that. Yeah,
the new Death Wish. He was the detective hunting down Bruce Willis.
Never saw any of those except for Under the Dome.
Let's see. He was the principal in Fist Fight.
Oh, he was? I forgot all about that movie for good reason, because that was a terrible movie.
Wow.
I wanted to like it so much. It had so much going for it. You had Ice Cube? Yeah, Ice Cube in it. I get the ices mixed up. Don't hate on me. You got Charlie Day, and they're getting into a fist fight, and their teacher's like, oh, this sounds such a good thing, and it just wasn't that funny. I'm like, oh. Mostly because of Ice Cube's character. Like, oh, he's like that, huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically, Dean Norris has done at least one episode of every big show in the past 15 years of television.
Sure,
he was on
like
Nip Tusk. He's on Justice, Cold Case, The West Wing, Las Vegas, Grey's Anatomy, The Unit, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, True Blood, Criminal Minds, Lie to Me, Medium. He's basically been on every fucking show on television. So that's where you know him from. He's everywhere.
I will say, I guess not much of a spoiler. He does show up in this dressed up as Old Man Logan in the 3rd episode.
Okay.
That doesn't tell you anything else. Just he's dressed up as an Old Man Logan. But and I see you over there, Sailor Poland. I will never ever get iced tea or Ice Cube mixed up with Vanilla Ice. I may mix up those two, but I'll never get mixed up with Vanilla Ice. That's never going to happen. Ice-T and Ice Cube. Which one's the kangaroo guy in Tank Girl? Is that Ice Cube? I know. I was getting to that. Yeah, that's what I've been getting into unless something just pops in my head. Oh, yeah, cigarettes. I've been getting into cigarettes. They're fucking tasty.
Well, there's that. So
smoke them if you got them. I don't care your age.
That does wrap up this latest installment of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we do stream this thing live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on Geeks.live. That is the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network, where you can find us in addition to many other shows that stream their shows live on there. So just scroll to the bottom of the page if you're there now. You'll see the calendar of all of the upcoming live events. So before we shut this thing down, do you guys have any final thoughts for us?
Bachman, you got anything?
I got nothing.
Man, our grandparents started smoking when they're like 8 years old. Man, who are they to tell us what we can do, what we can and can't do with our own body? Fuck off.
All right, so you heard it here from Willie. They don't know what they're talking about.
But
Yeah,
listen
don't
to
listen to
Unprotected Advice.
Don't listen to Grandma.
Listen
you
to
go.
my advice.
Listen to Willie's Unprotected Advice, and we will see you all next week. Bye, guys.
Balls deep.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Off Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.